you feel about the people that say you wasn't paying Pac and you wasn't giving him the money he was owed?
For as Tupac not getting paid, if Tupac was definitely to come from me, because anything I ever bought Pac or gave Pac, I gave it to him. Most people don't know this. I just tell Tupac all the time, Pac, put your money in your pocket. I got it. And no, let me get it. You always pay. I said, no, look, man, you get money off of being Tupac and rapping or doing a show. I get paid off of everything, each and everything. I'm the owner. This is my company. So therefore, I got it. And the other thing is that a lot of people put a lot of poison in a family's head after Tupac passed on. And I'm going to start to this and to the end. And reason how you knew it was a lot of weird stuff going on because I never found out about this until later in the game. Basically, this time in prison, on this journey. Every person who came to visit me wore wires. Jimmy Iovine used to come visit me, but he was wearing a wire. And so one day, Jimmy Iovine came in. I was like, well, he's here. What's taking so long? So one of the guys who brought Jimmy Iovine, they said, oh, I think they want to check someone. No, they don't. They're not going to think a 5'2" Italian white man look like one of those characters playing Scooby-Doo with real short, doing something illegal. They know who he is. Come to find out, they wired him up. And he was asking me questions that was illegal shit, but it's not like I'm that smart of illegal shit or crook. None of it was true. So it was nothing that could get me in trouble. And the deal I had with Tupac, like I said before, when I went to go visit Tupac, it was to help him because he needed me to see him. Then it went from that to get him out of prison. Then it went from there to I'm going to do an album on him. Then it went from the fact that Interscope never wanted Tupac. They were trying to get rid of Tupac before he even went to prison. They wanted to cut ties against him. But at the same time, he was still technically dialed in to Interscope. Interscope would definitely have to make sure if Tupac supposed to got some money and I refused to pay him, Interscope would have stepped up and had to pay him, or he could have got out the contract between both of us. But like I said before, on the Interscope contract, if Pac sold a million records, Pac already got 300,000. With me, he would have got a million, and I changed that. Instead, if he sold a million records, he'd get 2 million. So there was no room for stealing from him. But at the same time, I'm not saying something didn't go wrong because you got to remember one thing. Gelfand is one of the biggest entertainers, accountants at the time in the music industry. Jimmy Iovine introduced those idiots to me. Those dudes were stealing millions of dollars from me. So if they didn't pay Tupac, they were stealing from me and not paying my own shit. They was doing stuff like giving somebody $100,000 a month who didn't work for me. Giving this person altogether, it might have been 50,000 who didn't work for me. But paying these people personal things who didn't work for me. So when I caught them, My situation was like this with my accountants. You only can sign a check that's just $5,000. Anything over $5,000, I had to sign it. And you can't sign no payroll checks because I want to make sure it's my people working or not. But they was cutting checks for $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. Payroll checks to people for 100 grand, a month, $50,000 a month. So I'm not saying everything was always smooth, but it never was on my end. And if it's everything the Pac ever needed, I paid him. And if it's something he didn't get, he would have got it through his same contract with Interscope, but it'd been way less. The crazy thing about all this, nobody never paid no artist. Snoop, Pac, nobody. Nobody never paid studio time. Every artist supposed to pay for their own studio time out their budget. That studio, both rooms, ran 24 hours a day. So you got engineers, if they was getting $250 or $500 an hour, and it's 3 of them or 4 of them, you do the math. You got runners getting paid. I'm paying them. You got security around the clock getting $350 an hour. Sometimes it's 4 securities. Who paid that? It's supposed to come out their budget. All the unreleased songs, all the songs, Interscope never paid for it. The artist never paid for it. Even they supposed to. Only person paid that bill was Suge Knight. Nobody never paid the security bill. When Snoop had to go to court, it was my money that paid for the suits. It was my money that paid for the hotel for he won't be late. When Pac had to do something, it was my money that paid for everything. Even a security, which I don't supposed to pay for that. But I did. So only time somebody tried to get work, when they tried to work me. When Pac died, Pac's mother put people over the estate that Pac hated. And they wasn't black. All the world thinks that Tupac is black power. All the world thinks that Tupac's mother stand on her blackness. The person who's over Tupac's estate is a blonde-haired white boy. Was probably gray hair now. And a white girl that Tupac didn't fuck with. He didn't come see him, didn't get him out of prison. But they make more money on Tupac than anyone. So when it came down to people stealing reels and they come take all the Tupac stuff, I'm in prison. When they panic, lawyers panic and want to settle because they were stealing. The other people who had employees on Tupac, they panicked because they was billing hours that wasn't true. So everybody was stealing except for Suge Knight. And on top of that, they sent a lawyer to try to get me to move on with a deal and settle something. One, I'm in prison. 2, the lawyer Tupac fired definitely had his hand in the cookie jar. The accountant definitely had his hand in the cookie jar. The people who worked for Tupac that I was not paying was stealing for Tupac. Only person never stole from Tupac is me. Only person ever lost money on a Tupac deal is me. Only person ever got blamed for doing something wrong is me. But the reality of it, these people stole masters because they asked somebody, while I'm in prison, to deliver these masters that I own, even Defo masters that I own. to Interscope. David Cohen's a good guy. David Cohen never lied to me. David Cohen said Tupac's mother came up there with guys and drew guns on them and stole masters, which is illegal. So the only person to stand on Tupac truth and still ride for Tupac is me. The people who's doing stuff with the state, they cool with Snoop. The other people who of all these other things, it's with the people who do not care for Tupac and hate Tupac. Tupac passed away. Nobody did a tribute song for Tupac, but thank God they did one for Biggie. Nobody gave a memorial for Tupac, a celebration of the life of Tupac, because come to find out, the individuals who should have been doing tribute to Tupac, 1,000% had their hands involved of the exit of Tupac's life. So you can blame me, but the facts shows different. I gave him an incredible deal and got him out of prison. You can say whatever you want to say. I would never let somebody be on a show where I'm at and talk bad about Tupac. You got all these people got these podcasters. You can tell they don't care about Tupac because you let a person come on your show and talk negative about Tupac. Say he's been raped, which is not true. Say he was whatever, soft, which is not true. Anything negative you can say about Tupac, these people bring these people on their show and let these individuals talk bad about him. They let people talk bad about Tupac who never met the man in his life. They can tell you if Pac's breath stink or he allowed them to suck his dick. Because if they was around him, one thing for certain, one thing for sure, the way they reckless talking about Pac, either Pac would have been whipping their motherfucking ass or they'd have been trying to satisfy him with sexual favors or something. And Pac is not gay. But how many of these platforms or these people say they really know the man allow this type of stuff to happen? I'm never going to say nothing bad about Pac. I love Tupac. And it's sad that the people should understand Pac gave his soul to make music for you guys. Pac lost his life by doing the best music for you guys. And it's still popular today. So when you start hearing all these people on these platforms, allowing these people who never met him, or never been to their birthday party, or never had a real conversation with Tupac, cancel their shit. Stop supporting their shit. If you got real love for Tupac, do not fuck with them. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. When it comes to Tupac, this is a man that did it all. He was willing to sacrifice by saying things and talk about things that no one else would do. Tupac is the one who came with the saying, gin and juice. I know people want to argue this and argue that, but I'm telling you, I know people want to say, I'm not giving the facts and the truth. But the crazy thing about this, if a person went in that car, they have no comments. If you went in that room, you don't have no comments. Now, you can speculate and guess anything, you idiot, but you wasn't there. So I always would say, and stand on the truth, to always have Tupac's back, no matter what. Don't tell my story, tell your story. I'm not going to argue with a person that worked for me or used to work for me. Me and you are not on that level of you giving me advice or we hanging out. I pay you to stay in check because you work for me. I'm not going to argue with a person who got paid to rap. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I know when that motherfucking bell rings and you supposed to have your ass behind that microphone being somebody you really not and rapping, that's what you're going to do. I know that if you a Daz and say you took a check and took something from somebody, we all know, we seen your record, Daz. You never, 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 ever had a fight. You never, ever, ever been in trouble. But it is a copy of a letter you wrote to the warden, trying to keep me in prison. I don't want that smoke with you because you don't fight fair. But if you say you took a $2 million check or anybody from death row, I'm quite sure you can get a copy of the check. Anybody else have any checks when I was in prison last time? Those were fake checks, fake signatures. I feel good about giving back any way I can. I feel great about if somebody can learn from my mistakes or my success. I'm doing something for the culture. As you know, I don't feel the shit that I think we used to call Snoop a C. diff. It's a disease. And even though I would love to be able to say and feel that the allegations that everybody been saying, what he had to do with Pac and with the recordings I heard myself, he had to do with Pac, I wish that wasn't true. And I'm going to say this. I respect all our people. And I'm going to do my best to do better because I want better. I'm Suge Knight. I'm out.